Hello everybody, I'm just a dude, and this is the new IISU front end for Android. Now, keep in mind, later in this video, we will be looking at the alpha build of IISU, 0.001, so stay tuned for that. Now, to kick things off, what is IISU? IISU is a front end developed by Usagi Eyeshade and his development team, and it's looking to revolutionize the front end space. For those of you that don't know, or maybe not connected with the gaming or retro gaming scene, a front end basically is a way to access your games and your emulators through a nice, seamless interface. Which just basically means that it is a home screen for all the games that you play. So if you want to boot up RetroArch or you want to boot up Redream, any of those emulators, it will connect to IISU as the front end, and you can select your game and play it through there. Now, the reason that this is such a big deal is it makes it so much more integrated with the community. So right now, some of the leading front ends that we have are Emulation Station, Dijisho, those kinds of things. But with IISU, it looks like they're spending a lot of development time towards integrating like a Mi Space? What do they call it here?
Take 50%
No, I don't want a commercial. They're spending a lot of time on this IISU network, which they went over in the full presentation, but just as a kind of a summary, it allows you to connect with friends, it allows you to share games and playtimes, and it looks like a whole bunch of other features which will probably be coming and be added soon to the development cycle. I hated the way I said that. They also have the IISU shop, which allows you to create your own theming and all that kind of stuff. They didn't go over it too much in the presentation, but it looks very exciting. So right now I'm in Emulation Station, and if you're unaware, right now there is a theme that you can download that allows you to transform your emulations, allows you to transform your emulation station into an IISU front end lookalike. Okay, so for those of you who are unfamiliar with Emulation Station, this is what my Emulation Station currently looks like. But if you go into the menu and you go into UI settings and then go to Theme Downloader, you will see a nifty little theme called, where is it? IISU Interpreted. So basically you'll download this, and once you download it, you can come down to your themes list, click on it, and boom. And boom, there we go. And here we go. I don't have dijisho installed at the moment, so I don't know if it has a theme on there, but this looks really great. If this is what they're going for, the IISU team, then I am super excited for what all they have in store. But actually, more than just Emulation Station, I was able to find and download the alpha build of IISU. Okay, so when you first launch the IISU front end, this is what it looks like currently. Now, before I get into this and like how it operates and whatnot, I like to make mean-spirited comments for fun, but I will say, please take this with like the tiniest grain of salt. This is alpha build 0.01, so please, just like keep an open mind as to where this project is going, and clearly there is a vision to improve upon this very soon. That being said, this front end looks like dog shit.
Is this serious?
Now, when you first open up the IISU app, this is what it's going to look like. This is the home screen. On the top right, you have all of your icons and all of the tabs there. And we'll go through each and every tab just to see what it all has to offer. And I'll be explaining what everything does and how it works currently. First and foremost, we have the home page. At the top left, we have our, I believe this is the recents. I can't tell what it is because I can't interact with it. Like, I'm trying to touch it. You can't press this edit button that's on the top right here. You can't mess with the profile icon on the top right either. But I'm assuming that this home screen is going to be almost exactly identical to what they presented in the full presentation, where you can have your icons here, whether it be artwork or games or, other widgets and whatnot. Moving on to the next tab, we have the game tab. So this will probably be direct to your emulator game tabs. So you can see there's a plus button here. So when you click on this plus button, it will take you to the new emulator tab, and this is how you set up all your emulators. The only one that we can actually add is the Nintendo Game Boy. I'm sure they'll add more support for the other emulators and the other consoles a little later, but this is kind of what we have to work with. And the emulator only works with RetroArch at the moment, like you can't change that. And the cores that it works with is Gambit and Sameboy core, which is fine. This setting down here, the default display is for dual screen users. So if you're using the new Ein Thor, you can decide which screen the emulator opens on, which is great. And then of course the ROM directory folder. And now I've gone ahead and set up the Game Boy emulator thing here. Okay, firstly, on the top left corner, we have these different layouts that we can choose from. So the first one that you can choose from is grid. The second one looks more like a list, like a traditional list option. And the third one here looks to be like a carousel option. Okay, very cool. As you can see at the bottom of the screen, you have total playtime coming soon. And right above the cartridge, you have the name of the game, which it does work right now. So if you click on Link's Awakening, let's just say, woo, look at that, Link's Awakening, and then I can play Link's Awakening. All right, so back in the emulator here, we also have these tabs up on the right-hand side. I can click minus or add. This increases the size of the icons, and it also locks you out of using the D-pad. So that's very nifty. This refresh, I guess, refreshes everything. And then if you want to look up some game that you have, let's just say you have 100 different games, you can click up here on Buscar ROMs, which is Spanish for search ROMs. All right, let's go back here and let's go to the achievements tab. This is the retro achievements tab. You will be able to connect your retro achievements here, and I'm going to assume, do anything and everything retro achievements related. And the next tab that we're going on to is the Friends tab. The Friends tab is probably the most exciting thing to get out of this emulator. As of right now, it's not working. Of course, this is an alpha build, so I'm not going to judge it too harshly. Clearly, they are putting a lot of effort and time into the development process for this particular tab, and integrating it with your other emulators and whatnot. After that, we have the general apps. So when you're on an Android device, it can be a little tricky to get into some certain apps and whatnot. So I'm going to assume that this is for that. If you want to just have a generic, app display where you can look through all your apps and whatnot. It looks like at the top left, you also have, your games and your emulators. You can separate these into different folders and have IISU, pull them up when you click on the particular tab. And then of course, on the right-hand side, we have the minus and plus buttons again, which changes the size of all the apps, which is nifty. And then of course, the Buscar ROMs. Oh no, wait, it's Buscar Juegos y Apps. Awesome. And then lastly but not least, we have the settings tab, which just takes you in here. So it looks like the first thing that we have is the themes, which basically just change it from light mode, my eyes, back to dark mode. Next we have the dual screen mode, which I only have one screen here, and it doesn't look like I can activate it with only one screen, which is a good thing because I doubt IISU would be very happy at the moment with that. A couple things that I wanted to mention. There are some bugs with this alpha build. Firstly, when clicking left and right bumpers, it is supposed to transfer you to the next tab over or the next scene. And that works some of the time. So if you start on the home app and you click 2 times over to the retro achievements tab, you're on the retro achievements tab, but now you are stuck there. At the end of the presentation, they mentioned that they have this IISU front end page, which looks like this at the moment. I already set up an account. Ta-da! And this is what everything looks like. At the top here, you have your personal information. So you have your name and your username. You can set up an email, and then I guess it says when how long you've been a member. There is a 2-factor authentication if you want to do that. I have connected my Discord just for funsies. I believe they're going to be using Discord a lot for the interconnectivity between, the Friends tab or the shop network and all that stuff. So we'll see how that works out. And then, of course, you can integrate your retro achievements in here. Let me actually quickly go over what the web API token is. So if you go to your retro achievements, all right, great. Now that we're in our retro achievements, you'll click on, you'll go to settings, and then you'll scroll down until you see authentication. Here is your web API key, and basically what an API key does, it allows whoever's in control of it to kind of see all of the data related to your profile. And that's how IISU is planning to implement their retro achievements tab and probably some other features as well. There's another box here in the account settings that says apps. This is interesting. It says IISU, or at least as of now, but I wonder if that means that they're going to develop more things, or they have things in the works that they're just not saying. Excited to see what all they're going to do there. Passkey authentication, blah, blah, blah. I mean, nobody cares about that. Device management. Okay, so if you have multiple devices, this is how you do it. I don't know how this works. Let me authorize device. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm out. Active sessions, last seen on Firefox, change your password, newsletter. Should be subscribed. There we go. And then of course you can delete your account. Everything is pretty standard here. Very bare bones all around, but very promising. If you want to support this development cycle, or you want to, check out this front end yourself, you can go and search just IISU front end, and they will have a Patreon early access build. Unfortunately, it does cost money at the moment, $3 a month, which it kind of hurts my wallet, but also anything to help the community, right? Again, super excited to see what IISU comes up with. Usagi Shade and his team, I wish you guys the bestest of luck. But with all that said and done, I'm just a dude, and this has been IISU. Full presentation.